Hey, welcome to the Tim and Gugabe podcast. This is your host, Tim. And Gugabe, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Business as usual. How's life in St. Louis still?
I'm back up in Chicago. I came back up here after it calmed down a little bit. Um, like, same shit. Can't, it's like they're starting to reopen some things. Like, I actually went to a restaurant and I had to get my temperature taken and shit. It's fucking weird times. But, um, I don't know. Who gives a fuck about that? Let's talk about some MMA. Do you want to talk about the last card?
Yeah, I mean, I think we both did okay off it, and yeah, it was a decent card from memory.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about it. Hubbard Roskoff. From a betting point of view, it was just kind of high variance shit. Like I pretty much thought it could be anything from Roskoff looking like a giant dog to a giant favorite. So it's always good to err on the side of the dog. Um, Yeah, like Hubbard, I just feel like kind of gets a little disrespected because he's not like super amazing anywhere, but I just feel like well-roundedness and cardio goes a long way.
Yeah, I hit on Hubbard. Like Hubbard he's a solid C plus. Like he's never come to the title, but he's got good output. He's competent everywhere. Like a guy like Hubbard is like ranked here at heavyweight.
Oh, definitely.
His issue is he's athletically not really there. There's really a lack of a great end of his game, which means he has issues. But like he's perfectly functional as a fighter. And it's like that guy versus Roshkop who had some striking defense holes on tape, and it's just like, and it was on coming in short notice. Like I played Hubbard in the under, so I figured the only way Roshkov was ever going to justify his line is if Roshkov just got like an instant sub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, pretty much. And then as far as like, I know you've rolled with Drysdale. I know quite a few people who have, and I don't know. I think he's getting a little too much shit because I feel like, as far as the stoppage, if you even want to talk about this, I feel like he's getting a little too much shit because I do think he eventually said at the end, like, he doesn't want to go. And I feel like maybe he was just trying to talk him into it for a minute, you know? He probably would have sent him back out there, though. But I don't know. It is what it is. It wasn't like I do think in that situation, fights should be stopped, but I've seen way worse than that, you know?
Yeah, as an MMA fan, like I was like calling the corner stoppage like literally a minute left in the second round because I was just like, I don't see there's any productive reason for Roshkov to be out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he wasn't getting, it wasn't like Hooker Barboza or something, which was just fucking brutal. But like after say 2 minutes into round two, it was just like, what is the win condition for Roshkov here?
Yeah, like comparing it to other scenarios, I don't think Drysdale. I think he's getting too much shit, but like in an idealistic world, it was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
he also, I don't know. I feel like he was just kind of trying to, because Hubbard was, Roscoff. I don't know. I felt like he was there and he was just like tired type of thing, where I feel like Drysdale was maybe just trying to motivate him a little bit, but I don't know. Like I'm glad it didn't continue because he would have gotten his ass beat though. But I don't know. It's what it is. Murphy Modafferi. I kind of thought Murphy was gonna win. The more that I had taped, and I don't know. Like I feel good for Murphy. She's been around for a while.
It's good. I took a little bit of Murphy plus 125, and they ended up hedging it off because I was like, Modafferi's probably got the grappling upside, and just women's, I'll usually go the grappling upside versus the striking upside.
Yeah.
Just nature of how rounds won and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Murphy looks solid. Modafferi's level one, she's competent, but just athletic ceiling is pretty clear. Solid fight, what it was.
Yeah. James Camacho, the Camacho parlay legs got fucked up here.
Yeah, I actually had one of my books actually offered in ends by KO at minus 110. So like I had some more roll dice on that, and it was like way off the rest of the market. So thank you to that bookie.
Yeah, that's a good line if you that you got. So
it's not a particular. In my opinion, it's not a hugely meaningful result. Like people acting like, oh, Camacho was going to die against a roller and that sort of shit, which I think is wrong. Credit to James for coming in as a massive short notice underdog and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in that situation, you might as well just swing to death. Like, A, it means it guarantees you're probably going to get invited back.
Mm-hmm.
And B, you can hit people, like, in Hernandez Dariush. Like, it's annoying from a betting point of view because, like, it means that suddenly these short notice guys just maximize volatility. But also, if you're a short notice guy, you might as well.
Yeah, totally agreed. Yeah, like I don't think you can look too much into the result though. Could have very well been Camacho dominating for 15 minutes. But when you absorb that many strikes like Camacho does, variance is always in play.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I felt Camacho was looking actually solid with the jab and all that before he got, like, haymakered, but also James just kind of bit the mouthpiece, and yeah, the right thing to do in that situation.
Yeah. Robertson and Casey, in hindsight, this was obvious, but at the same time, if Casey would have just gotten some easy guard sub, or even though it's not a great win condition to rely on, or, just some other type of like physicality type of moment, on the feet or something, I wouldn't have been that surprised either. But Robertson, I don't know, she did her thing.
Yeah, like, Robson fights always going to be very binary.
Yeah, exactly.
Just nature, like, she's not really good enough athlete to be able to have close fights usually. Either her single leg's working or it's not.
Yeah. She does the
yeah,
same shot every time. It's fucking insane. Maya does the same thing, just jumps onto a single leg. But it was funny. I didn't play it, but I was like thinking Casey no scorecards would work, and because Casey, she randomly just decided to give up her back and usually doesn't, towards the end of that fight. But at the same time, she was probably like, I've been on my back for 14 minutes. I might as well try something different. And Robertson took advantage.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird win. She didn't even have hooks in, did she?
No.
It was like always one where I think like Casey was trying to sort of shrimp up from side control, and Robertson just jumped across, and yeah, it happens. But like, I think that's probably goes to the distance more often than not.
Agreed. I think it was just like a choice by Casey to try to get back up, and it just backfired on her. But it was funny. She was like decently close to a guard armbar in that fight too. But like, good on Robertson. It's never a bad thing to take the person who's going to be on top in a close fight like that.
Remember, Casey's best round was round 3 from memory, apart from obviously getting subbed.
I'd have to rewatch. I just kind of remember getting dominated, but I think she started doing a little better towards the end. Barrialt and Piachota was pretty much what I expected. Barrialt at least showed a good game plan. He jumped on him right away.
Yeah, but like in round 2, I actually felt Piachota was actually coming back a decent amount. Like I was actually concerned in round 2.
Like because after round 1, I was like, this is fucking over, and then all of a sudden, Piachota was kind of landing and keeping up at the beginning of round 2, like you said, and then he just kind of died.
Yeah, I mean, like, Piachota versus man who exists for more than 8 minutes is always going to be a very unfavorable matchup.
Yeah. His chin held up better than I thought there.
Yeah, agreed. Like, I had the under 2.5, and I was starting to sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually, I had
either way, but honestly, the thing though about that, because people were asking me about the under, and I agreed with the play, but I was almost thinking Barrialt TKO, just because I feel like Barrialt's going to be very tough to finish, and subbing Piachota is not going to be easy because Piachota is actually like a skilled submission grappler. But I just kind of always felt like this would end inside, but just kind of to, I don't know, narrow down the TKO play, because I just feel like Barrialt just strikes me as someone very difficult to get out of there.
I think Piachota hurt him badly in the second round. That sort of takedown Barriot just kind of like Barriot gets hit with the uppercut and just kind of just holds on to him for 10 seconds. I think Barriot is very hurt.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to tell because of how like he just kind of clings onto the legs, but I do think he was hurt. I had a bunch of other props. I had like Piachota sub 1, Piachota sub, because I was like Piachota can grapple.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of Barriot like round 2, round 3.
Yeah.
I pretty much got what I expected. Best case scenario for me would have been the first half of round 3, but well, can't complain about that result.
Yeah. Torres Van Buren. I'm glad Van Buren's line was unplayable because if she was evens, I probably would have played her. So I'm glad. 'Cause I didn't expect Tisha to be that dominant. I was the thing that kind of eventually made me just be like, fuck it, and not betting the fight was I just felt like Torres, even though her takedown defense was like 52%, I was just kind of thinking this is a big step up. And if the takedowns aren't automatic, this is going to be close type of thing, you know? And I just feel like anytime you're stepping up big in competition, those takedowns might not be as easy, you know? Um, so I was kind of thinking maybe they won't be there as easy as I thought. And Torres defended better than I really thought she would. So good win by Torres.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't do much tape for it. I've heard very good things about Brandon Van Buren, but I was kind of figuring close women's strawweight fight. Van Buren probably has the wrestling upside. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't gonna touch minus 250 or whatever the fuck she had to close that.
Yeah. I passed on that too. If she was like minus 115, I honestly would have played her, but she wasn't, so I got lucky. But I wasn't expecting a Torres 30-27 clean sweep, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
Greene over Guida. You're gonna make fun of me, but I parlayed up Greene just because I know everyone was saying like Greene's a flake and everything, and honestly, I feel like I don't know. I just felt like on paper the stats. I thought Guida could only win a split decision, and I know Greene loses split decisions, but it's actually against good fighters. You know, I just felt like I don't know. I think Guida did benefit in round one on round sequencing because other than that, he kind of got fucked up. But I mean, Guida competed a little better than I thought, but the strike count was still a mismatch. You know,
Yeah, Greene did give away a round for no reason though.
literally no reason. And
And
it was
round
funny
three
'cause
was almost.
he didn't even do it. I still like round one. I kind of was like, they're gonna give that to fucking Guida, and two of the three judges did, even though if you would have, I don't know, if you would have flipped Guida holding Greene against the cage in the first minute, and then after that, Greene just fucking him up, kind of like he did, tripling up him up in strikes. Greene would have won that round, but of course, because it was the round sequencing, it helped Guida. But I don't know, like I feel like Greene, he's super skilled, but yeah, he's kind of passive at times, even though he still lands a lot of strikes consistently.
Yeah. Yeah, like honestly, I felt Guida was like even round three was like Guida almost had that without the sequencing. I don't
Yeah,
know. I've had enough
yeah,
trauma from Bobby Green losing split decisions. I just no.
yeah. I just still feel like Guida can never win anything but an extremely contentious decision. And I feel like Greene, even though he didn't totally run away with it here, I feel like he can, you know? And if you put together that fight 100 times, Greene can run away with it a decent amount,
Yeah,
you know?
agreed.
But I don't know. It is what it is. It's probably splitting hairs at this point because Guida competed a little bit, but he was still a step behind. But
Yeah, so
Miller and Roberts, I don't. I'm not going to read. I had no action here. I'm not going to read too much into the result. Kind of just a guard armbar.
yeah, I made a lot of money on it, but even then, like honestly, like Milt didn't even really take him down. It was like he fell over off a weird leg kick kind of counter thing.
Yeah.
Then like I was pretty confident Robert's positional jiu-jitsu wasn't that great. Like that was something I did believe pre-fight, but like, and then it was just like a falling off the top armbar sort of thing. Like
Yeah. I honestly think it's going to overrate Miller again because he gets so many first round finishes, you know? And then, um, I don't know. Then he's going to go against somebody like a Holtzman who won't be easy to finish, I feel. And he's just going to gas. But
with
um,
somewhere like
I'm not
Dakar,
happy for Miller, though. I mean, he honestly he's been around forever, man.
yeah, he
Like,
has. How about something like Dakar close first Miller? I think that'd probably be a decent spot to fade him.
yeah, because Close would probably just survive, you know, and then just take him out, really. Kind of
Also,
beat him
just
up late.
something as family thinking. Why has Guida versus Lentz never happened?
Yeah, I feel like that. I would have guessed that it would happen like 3 times on random fight nights.
Yeah, I was just checking his topology. I was like, has greater lens happened? I would have bet, like, at evens, I would have bet that it had happened. Because they've both
Yeah,
been around for so long.
it's kind of like Pennington Renault. When that fight got announced, I was like, they had to. This has to be like a trilogy, right? They just never crossed paths somehow.
Yeah, I just try to think, lens versus Guida would amuse me a lot, so I should do that next.
Yeah.
They're very similar brothers.
But yeah, Muhammad Good. This was a legit fight. I thought Muhammad was the rightful winner personally. I thought he took the first 2 rounds, but he fought well. He fought super smart. I feel.
Yeah. I felt Muhammad won the first 2 rounds. I felt Good might have snuck round 2 off the like later stunning him.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I felt Muhammad won the round, but I could see how Good's late success could make a judge pivot.
yeah. It,
Like,
it
I'm
wouldn't
not
have been
surprised
a
he won the round.
robbery or anything. I do feel the right man won though.
Yeah, agreed. I had a little bit of good decision at plus 500, which I feel reasonable about. Like, I just saw GTD as being pretty locked on, and like,
Yeah,
yeah, I felt it was always going to be a close, fairly contentious decision, which we got. So yeah, plus 500 for that outcome, I'm happy with.
yeah.
Because like Muhammad was always going to be kind of the minute winner, and Good was probably going to be the moment winner, just because the
Yeah,
outcome was
and
good.
it wasn't like the minute winning was going to be extremely drastic to where the moments could matter, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't like Muhammad was going to wrestle fuck him or something. It was just going to be like Muhammad winning a striking match for a bit, and Good would probably have would have the knockdown. Or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It was a close fight. It was a good fight. Both guys are good.
yeah, just feel Muhammad.
Pennington Renault. I think this was just Renault being old. It was competitive early, and then she kind of she gassed horribly.
Yeah, pretty much. Like Renault won the first round in my book and looked good for about 7. Like if she hadn't like kind of fallen off top position in the second round, I felt she could have actually won that fight. Obviously, round 3 she just kind of went to pieces, but
Yeah,
there was a point at 8 minutes where like Renault just kind of fell off top position randomly, and I was like, oh, that might have just been the fight.
I mean, she was like even at the end of round 2, she was really gassed. I had the goes the distance was minus 275, and I like popped it into a couple parlays, and even I was like, fuck, just but it was just really because Renault had slowed down. I mean, I guess that's always a thing that can happen when you're 43 years old, but she, even against Kunitskaya, she didn't look like she would ever get finished. And Pennington's not exactly a finisher, but Pennington looked good. She actually threw volume for once, so
Yeah, yeah, decent performance Pennington side. Renault just she gassed, and I think what else. I was surprised how much action came in on Pennington actually. Like, she got completely fucking. I was looking at her minus 140 early in the week, and I was like, oh, I feel like she's got more process than Renault, but passed. And like Pennington just got steamed and steamed and steamed.
yeah.
And like even honestly, off the fight,
Yeah,
started,
I mean,
it was a good idea.
I guess it was just because of Renault's age. Um, because
Yeah,
there's nothing really other than that. Like, just if you look at their stats, and it kind of showed in the first 7 minutes that it was just going to be really competitive. And then Pennington just kind of took over. Age matters though. Like, if you're on the fence about a fight and there's a huge age difference, you have to you have to pop over some percentage points over to the younger fighter, just because it's more likely the older one just falls off a cliff.
yeah, agreed. It just I feel like there's some people like my view is there's a bunch of people who sort of trading algos or so like trading algorithms on your MMA tend to bet in the last day or two of fighting, and they just tend to just blast age differences, which
Yeah,
we should win more. Yeah, it'll win more than it loses, but
yeah,
you've got to actually do tape.
yeah, for sure. You got to do tape, but it does matter though. Age, like, it's not something I'd go like. I don't know if it mattered enough to where you could predicted Pennington looked like a 75%, 80% favorite. But it does matter a little bit. So, um,
I don't even necessarily think she was like Renault. I felt Renault for like third round it was just Renault getting blasted, but the first 2 rounds are competitive.
Yeah. Pennington pulled away pretty hard, kind of like in the last half, though, like kind of the second half of round 2 and then round 3. But yeah, no, I feel you. Um, Emmett Burgos, Emmett really impressed me. I've never bet any of his fights because they're always striking fights and he has massive power. So it's always kind of there's always just room for variance type of thing. But I didn't know. I I guess what I'm trying to say is if you bet Burgos, I don't like it played out in a way where you would have expected Burgos to win. If you would have told me Burgos landed 130 strikes, I would have been like, oh, okay. I mean, unless if Emmett got a ton of knockdowns, I doubt he even came close to matching that volume, and he landed the same amount of strikes, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, agreed. Like, yeah, if you said pre-fight, Burgos lands 130 strikes, it goes the distance, and the logical assumption would be, oh, well, yeah, Emmett got just drowned in volume, but Emmett
Yeah,
kept like,
yeah,
yeah, even like Emmett versus Orantes, which was a complete beating. Emmett didn't. I think Emmett only threw like 2/3 of what he threw in this fight, so it's just like, yeah, the volume was just crazy. It kind of reminds me of Gagey versus Ferguson. It
yeah,
was like people were betting, all right, Gagey's gonna knock him out inside 2 rounds, but lose down the distance.
yep.
And then Gagey puts up a 25-minute volume parity performance, and it's like that isn't really what anybody on Gagey predicted, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, yeah. If you would have told me Emmett won a decision because his power scared off the volume of Burgos, because I mean, if you look at Michael Johnson, Emmett Johnson outlanded him 24-22, and then Emmett landed the KO. So like that, I would have been like, okay, so Emmett's power scared off Burgos a little bit, so it became like a dicey fight. Low volume, like 60-60 in strikes or something. I could have seen that, but like Burgos wasn't scared off at all, and he pretty much landed what he would on just your random featherweight, and Emmett just kept up. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was a good comparison you made, Ferguson Gaethje, because I just did not expect uh, Gaethje to just be able to last like that.
Yeah, like it wasn't controversial to say Gagey might knock him out early or Emmett might just kill him in one spot, but like having Emmett keep up volume parity is just like I just don't think there was a reasonable call for that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even bet the fight, and yeah, that was just kind of the angle I was reading at it. But it's, I mean, I'm not gonna really fuck with Emmett, like his fights can just obviously he now showed that he is capable of volume. Like he won't just sit there and get outpointed and lose like a wide decision because he can't land his power strikes. It shows he can actually land a lot of strikes. I feel like his fights are just kind of even tougher to call now, because there's not even like a volume path that's going to be easy either.
Yeah, like he kind of traditionally had a lot of Tyron Woodley about how he fought,
Yeah.
but it's like if Tyron Woodley had randomly put up like volume parity of Burns.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, it's one thing if it was 40-40, but if like Woodley Burns ended up being 140 to 140, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that that would never happen with Woodley.
Just hypothetically.
Yeah. No. Like, I agree. It would be like that. But I mean, Emmett did put up some volume against Holtzman, but still, even that was 87, and that was 4 years ago, type of thing. So,
And it was at lightweight, and like his striking he wasn't quite the same sort of striker back then.
yeah, agreed.
I had ends by KO at plus 100. Burgos' chin is insane. Like
You had
Burgos,
blown ACL, like 7 knockdowns. It just didn't happen.
yeah, that was fucked. Like I was just like, what? Burgos, just like Burgos historically has had like a C plus chin,
Yeah.
and then he just randomly has like prime Ortega chin.
Yeah. It's just calling knockouts at these lower weight classes is just tough sometimes. Um, I don't know.
I tend to like sort of be trying to call knockdowns over knockouts. Where like I felt like Emmett Burgos, if he ran it like a bunch of times, every fight you'd have at least one or two nasty knockdowns.
For sure, yeah, yeah.
Like that's how I tend to bet finishes. I tend to care more about the sort of rate of knockdowns in people's careers more than really their KO rate, because I feel like there's a bunch of guys who just have a lot of knockdowns but kind of survive, and then people tend to assume they can't finish when they actually can. But again, that leads to me to betting on Curtis Millender ends inside distance like 8 times.
The way I try to predict, I don't bet as many props as like other people though, but the way I try to predict knockdowns is they're going to be a lot of unanswered strikes type of thing. You know, like is there going to be one guy landing a shitload and the other guy not type of thing? Because sometimes I feel like in competitive striking fights, it's just hard to call, you know? And then I think calling it on the mat is a lot easier because you can kind of see the process of will people get to this position, which is going to really be beneficial for a finish or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of the way. I mean, yeah, but I have noticed, so focusing on the durability of fighters, I feel like is a better way to predict if a knockout will happen. Because like, and a good example of it is you look at Lewis and you just think he has like a 50% chance to knock out anyone. But when he fought Ivanov, like it was almost like Ivanov's durability is more reliable than the knockout power of Lewis. Does that make sense? I just feel like whenever you look at it, you got to focus on durability a little bit. And I guess you could have looked at Emmett's durability here or Burgos. I mean, they've both been hurt, you know.
But even if Lewis had like 4 genuine almost stoppages.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, Ivanov's tough, but like there wasn't like that was an easy over.
Yeah. Even
My
though it's super tough. But yeah.
My view on unders tends to be a combination of A, figuring out how much time is going to be spent in like non-finishing spots.
Yeah.
Use the cage clinch.
Yeah.
Like, this one I was pretty sure they would spend the entire time, or at least as much as possible, swinging on each other.
Yeah.
Like, Burgos wasn't going to take him down. I think Burgos' get-ups are good enough. I don't think Emmett was going to just spend like 15 minutes in half guard. Emmett's not really willing to go for isn't really willing to go for cage push. Burgos tends to be very offensive if he's cage pushing, and their knockdown rates are both very high. That's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah.
Like I think most of the time you're just trying to mitigate cage push time.
Yeah, for sure. Blades and Volkov, this was literally the exact fight I expected. I expected Blades to land a shitload of takedowns, especially early. And I thought I thought he was gonna get worn down a little bit. I just watching Volkov versus Verdum, he didn't strike me as someone who would get tired by just getting taken down. And I expected him to at least resist the takedowns enough to kind of like make Blades a little bit fatigued. And then I thought he could make things interesting. I just didn't really know when that pivot would happen, and it kind of happened a little too late. But this is pretty much the fight I expected. But I mean, I credit Blades to sticking to a game plan. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this fight?
I had the over 2 rounds. Honestly, my kind of early feel was I probably should play go distance instead of the overs, just because I feel like it was a question of can Volkov survive off his back, and if Volkov could survive off his back, it was a decision.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be able to. Like once I taped, Blades isn't that good of a finisher if you just kind of know some jujitsu. You know?
Positional BJJ is kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, Blades. It's an interesting dynamic for me because I really like him because he has a process at heavyweight, and in a 3-rounder, I mean, he can attempt a shitload of takedowns, so his skill set is so reliable. But it almost pisses me off because I don't think he's that good of a wrestler, and it's just he's at heavyweight. You know, like his skill set at welterweight. Just imagine him trying to do that to like I don't know some of the better welterweights, even just I don't know like a Drew Dober or something.
Yeah, 100%. Just
Yeah.
and also just the way how he controls people on the ground. It's just, unless you just sort of kind of completely give up, he just can't finish you.
Yeah, it's just he does a lot of everything he does pretty much on top is wrestling rides. He does like a lot of like um crossbody wrist rides, like tight waist far ankles, spiral rides. All he's doing is wrestling. It was funny. I actually watched the fight with this kid who was national champ in high school, and he doesn't really watch UFC at all. And he was kind of just like, oh, he's just, I mean, he's literally just doing high school wrestling moves. So, yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like that wouldn't work against people who actually know how to wrestle in some of the lower weight classes, you know?
Agreed. Also, my way I kind of see it is, like if he just like got to like a decent purple belt level in jiu-jitsu, he could finish by sub pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't need to be incredible at jiu-jitsu. Like
Yeah.
just have a bit more interest in taking the back.
Yeah. Just even, I think a good example, you know, Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson is, I think, he's not an incredible submission grappler, but he knows how to just get some dominant positions and make you pay for it type of thing. Because like if he gets back mount or mount, he just has strong hips and I don't know, he understands the positions and he can actually put you away. Um
Yeah.
and yeah, so like I mean, because I think Grant Dawson's way better on the mat than Blades. But I mean, we're comparing it is heavyweight, and we got to realize the reason why heavyweight is worse than other divisions is because there's less of a talent pool, just because there's less big guys, you know. So I mean, if you went to a park in Chicago that had 500 basketball players, and then you went to a park in Chicago that had 10, the 500 you're probably going to make a better 5-man team on. You know, you just have more people, so it's just the depth is greater. But
Yeah. If you're a heavyweight though, it is easier to play top control just because the physics involved.
yeah,
Like I'm not dissimilarly big to Blades, and it really isn't that hard to develop a decent top game.
yeah,
Like, just kind of my view. Like, particularly like in training, like Blades is gonna have, surely Blades is drilling BJJ, and he's spent like the last 8 years just mauling people from top position. Surely he's developed some better go-tos.
yeah. Against I remember against Justin Willis, he sits in that half position. Remember up against the cage, they sat there for like 9 minutes of the fight, and he wouldn't even really put two hooks in to try to flatten him out or anything. But yeah,
It's ridiculous. Like I've historically played overs in pretty much every single Blades fight because I just do not respect his grappling offense.
yeah,
Like the Junior Dos Santos one pissed me off because I was expecting like cage push and half guard for 25 minutes. And then Blades randomly decides, oh, I'm swinging to death with Junior Dos Santos. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
yeah. He's going to be around for such a long time though with that skill set. I mean, he's going. How old is he? He's 29. I honestly think he's going to set records for most wins in UFC heavyweight history, just because that skill set's going to age. I mean, 11 years from now, 40-year-old Blades will probably be 30-27ing top 10 guys, just because I don't think heavyweight's going to advance that much.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, he's got 11 wins so far. So it's like he probably can't contest for the actual like most fights still stuff. But yeah, in terms of like heavyweight, like I mean, Arlovsky's still fucking around.
Yeah,
Arlovsky's arguably top 15.
yeah, yeah. And
Like
Blade,
Arlovsky's what, UFC 40.
Blade's skill set will age better than Arlovsky most likely. I mean, I guess the cardio could go down a little bit, but still, I don't. He doesn't even like look at Olenek. Like, he's got no cardio and he's still winning fights at 40.
Yeah, Arlovsky's UFC debut was in 2000.
Yeah,
That's insane. Like UFC 28.
yeah. I remember just kind of when I first started watching MMA, like around like early 2000s, and I mean he was already the champ like when I was kind of watching type of thing. So because I've been watching since I was so young, and he's just been around for fucking ever.
Yeah, like Arlovsky debuted in the same card as Chris Lytle.
Yeah, Lytle was around for a while too. His last
As I
fight,
mean, like
yeah,
Arlovsky's lasted like twice as long.
yeah, I think Lytle retired. He beat the fuck out of Dan Hardy, who people for some reason think is good at fighting. But I like Hardy as an analyst, but he was an awful fighter. But he, I think, did they fight in like 2013? I gotta look. I know. Was that 20? Oh, it was 2011.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because Hardy stuck around till like probably 2013, I think. Because I know Hardy fought like Ludwig and some other people.
Still, it's crazy. Arlovsky's like UFC career is like 9 years ago, and Arlovsky just still like Arlovsky doesn't even seem to be like retiring anytime soon.
Oh no, he could like he might go on like a 4-fight win streak, but
He could be on one right now, pretty much.
Were you watching MMA back when Lytle was around? Lytle was pretty solid.
I think I watched like a dodgy stream of his retirement fight. Like my first like awareness of MMA was Fedor versus about the same time.
Fedor versus who?
Woodson.
Oh, okay. Oh, guard sub.
Yeah, like that was like legit like the first time I really got into MMA, which was Fedor versus. That was like that was a year before that. So I'm pretty sure I watched
that was Strike Force. That had to have been 2010, 2011, right?
2010.
2010, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because like Woodson was probably the first fight I watched, and then like he was the first, and Woodson versus Kane was the first fight. It was the first fight I bet on.
Yeah.
Now for Boser, Woodson is in a way worse shape than Andrei Arlovsky.
Yeah, Lytle was a guy. He actually retired on top. Like he could have stuck around for a few more years because I think he won like 5 of his last 6 fights, and he just beat the shit out of Dan Hardy and retired in a main event. So yeah, like I like Lytle. He was tough. But okay, let's talk about the Poirier Hooker card. I feel like we're getting off topic. Hansen and Frey. Do you have any thoughts here?
Hansen seems a bit grapplier, so I'd go with the grapplier, bigger one in a low-level women's fight.
Yeah.
Like, no real strong conviction.
Pretty much what I thought too. She attempts a shitload of takedowns too. I mean, she just doesn't really do anything else and kind of forces you into that fight. So I kind of just think she's going to out-grapple Frey.
Yeah, well, at least in what will probably be a close decision anyway. Like the optics of a takedown are just worth more. So yeah, the line probably works.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't spend too much time on that, but that's pretty much kind of what I was seeing. It's always tough whenever they've kind of not fought similar competition type of thing because they're in different weight classes. So it's sometimes hard to compare. Because, I mean, just look at Van Buren when she came in, and her takedowns did not look nearly as good this last week. So, but Zalal Griffin, I've started taping, but I'm not finished up yet. What are your thoughts here?
I took the under 2.5 early at plus 175, and I've since traded out of it. I'm on Zalal a bit at dog odds. I think Zalal's a bit more functional. Like the more Griffin's hate you watch, it's just Griffin losing minutes against everybody.
Yeah.
He's just a very mean fighter. He's just a very mean fighter. It's like Anthony Pettis without the crazy. It's like Anthony Pettis.
Anthony Smith, Anthony Pettis. Yep.
Yeah, he's a ruthless sports product. He just seems to have attended all the Anthony Smith seminars. I mean, the Anthony Pettis seminars without having the athleticism.
Yeah.
And like Zalal looked pretty good against Lingo. Like Zalal looked reasonably intelligent, had a decent idea of what he's doing, can stay safe in top position. Doesn't really gas. So yeah, I think Zalal should be the mint winner here.
Yeah. The thing I'm not done taping yet. The thing I was struggling with is just I can't tell how good some of the fighters are who Zalal fought, And the other thing is, what's his grappling background? Does he have a grappling background? I was just trying to. I just want to know because I feel like Griffin's almost sub or bust, and I feel like if he just has any deep I tried looking for it for a bit, and I'm gonna try more. I feel like if he just has like any submission defense and just has some grappling credentials, he'll probably win.
He looked like reasonably responsible on top against Lingo, but Lingo just kind of died in cardio after like 2 minutes.
I just can't tell. Yeah, I gotta tape more. I feel, but I just because I feel like that's how Griffin usually. I mean, if he doesn't sub you, he's probably just going to get taken down a lot. And Zalal landed 6 takedowns last fight, and I don't know. But Griffin does do a decent job at just kind of finding some positions here and there with like his with like guillotines and shit. But I don't know. This fight's kind of meme. I don't feel like talking about it anymore.
Yeah.
Sato and Ramiz. I haven't taped this. I've heard from a lot of people that Ramiz guy's really bad, but I haven't taped.
He hasn't fought in 2 years, but like based on what tape we've got, he just runs forward, jumping for guillotines, and then gasses after 3 minutes, and there's no striking defense.
Yeah.
It's very Brandon Royval.
Yeah.
That's probably my comparison for him. And like Sato's not great, but he hits obscenely hard when he does hit. And actually, I feel like Sato's clinch is weird because he doesn't defend clinch strikes well, but he's like got the judo background, so his posture's very, very good.
Yeah.
Like if you throw knees on him in the clinch, Sato just kind of goes, "What the fuck is happening?" But if you sort of stick to if you just try to like clinch wrestle with him, he's very good at stopping clinch wrestling. Which I think just judo background, I guess.
Yeah, he's just so low volume though. That's the one thing. I mean, I gotta take a look at this other guy though. I just haven't gotten to it. So
like Sato losing minutes to cylinders was concerning.
Yeah.
I also like if you watch Sato's regional career, like the first half of it, he was a lot higher volume. Like, the guy from the first half of his career, I'd take over Bramihaj pretty confidently because he was a lot higher volume, but he just seems to have dropped off a lot of volume lately.
Yeah.
But Bramihaj should get the volume out of him just because Bramihaj is so hilariously hittable.
Muhammad might have also just made Sato look way worse than he actually is because Muhammad's really good, especially at like the I hit you, you hit me type of game. But yeah.
Especially when Sato's like threats are so like obvious and like clearly defined, so Muhammad could game plan around them quite easily. I just can't see Bramihaj being able to game plan. But again, Bramihaj might have improved out of sight over the last 2 years. But yeah, the guy on tape is shit.
Yeah. Woodson and Erosa. I think Woodson should win this just on volume alone. And yeah, I mean Erosa's scrappy and tough and will bring the fight, but I just feel like defensively Woodson's way better and is just a better the better head striker as well. But I know how you roll, and you're probably going to take a swing at Erosa.
Yeah, pretty much. Probably chucking units on Erosa at plus 350-ish.
Yeah.
Like, I think Erosa's height, like, Erosa's only an inch shorter than him, so I think a lot of Woodson's game is predicated along that reach and height advantage. I could see that causing issues for Woodson. And like, I don't think Erosa's that bad. Like, he competed with Arce, he competed with Dawson. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's bad. Woodson's volume's kind of nuts, so. And
sure, I'm not saying Woodson's bad. Just like, at that sort of price, I'm willing to pay to find out something.
Yeah. I mean, you're paying to find out. That's what you're doing. Which, yeah, I mean, your dogs worked out last week, right? But
yeah, like, how wrong can I be at plus 350?
Yeah, at least a room for error. Yeah.
Like, that's kind of my view. It's like, and if I hit enough of these sort of like new person against established person games, you do get the ones where the established person just looks minus 600. Like for every one where Woodson looks good, you get one or two ones where Hubbard just runs over Oshkosh.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I hear you. I think Woodson's way more proven than Roshkov, though. But
true. I'm just using it as a topical example.
I mean, and his price shows it. So, no, I hear you. Like, I mean, that's completely logical, like explanation. Boser and Limbs, I kind of, I just feel like this is going to be close.
Yeah, agreed. I trust Boser's durability and volume a little bit more. Yeah, I got Boser round 3 or decision at plus 230, which I like. But yeah, as far as money line, like I'd lean Boser a little bit, but like it's the same as like Sakai Ivanov saying for me.
Yeah.
I don't like Linz's chin that much from watching his PFL career. Like Boser is obscenely like durable. I don't think Linz is that durable. But I can't see Boser being the one to knock him out.
Yeah.
Like if the chin's going to manifest, it's just going to be a close round where like Linz wobbles a bit and gives up a close round sort of thing.
Yeah, it's tough because just like Spitz is a really bad and Gone is a really good. So we haven't seeing Boser go against kind of your stereotypical top 15 to 20 heavyweight, like a Linz Arlovsky or anything. So I feel like we get to kind of learn something about him here. Where I feel like I kind of know what Linz is, type of thing. Like Boser had a pretty extensive regional career, but a lot of those fighters I didn't really know that well, type of thing.
Yeah, of M1, whoever the fuck these people are, sort of things.
Yeah, like it was like they look competent and everything, but still, when you come over here, it's different. And I mean, you saw that with Linz coming from PFL to Arlovsky, and I thought Arlovsky was alive in that fight, but
I mean, Arlovsky's always underrated in my opinion. Personally, particularly my opinion, but still,
he's always underrated. I agree. I do think Boser landed a lot of leg kicks versus Spitz, and I think like Arlovsky landed like 21 leg kicks against Linz. So I do feel like that can kind of be a free consistent strike for him. So I think that could be important. But I kind of lean him, but I don't know. It's hard for me to really know exactly how good Boser is, but it seems like it will probably be pretty competitive on paper.
Yeah, particularly if Linz has kind of got that karate stance going, so the leg kicks is kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I kind of trust Boser's durability more, I trust Boser's output more, so that's my view. And I don't think Ivar's going to grapple in a particular clip, so...
Yeah, it's hard to put output, though, on Arlovsky, so I do feel like Linz's output might be a little better than what people realize.
Even PFF. Like, Linz just a comfortable pace. Just like my view of Linz Arlovsky was that Linz would just fight at Arlovsky's pace because that's how Linz usually fights.
Yeah.
Like he has that kind of karate mind. I'm not sure if he is a karate guy, but I just watching his stance and watching how he fights, he just has a very karate attitude to things.
Yeah.
Which is good in some respects, but also karate guys are known for letting scorecards get away from them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, no, I agree. I mean, to sum it up, I just think it's kind of a close fight. No strong opinions. But Maverick and Barella, this got canceled. So Pena worthy. I think the line's fine because I don't know. I think Pena's actually pretty good, and he has the grappling upside here. If he goes to that, your guess is as good as mine. But it's almost like Vittori Robertson. If they fight 100 times, I do see like Robertson never out grappling Vittori, where Vittori can just do what he did to Robertson, and kind of the same thing here. And on the feet, this is actually, I haven't told anyone this yet, but I expect it to probably be kind of competitive on the feet, and Pena, it's funny, I was like looking at his metrics, So I was like, damn, his striking defense is 51%, which is not that good. And then I looked into it more, and like he defends head strikes well, but I was looking and he has surrendered 63 of 64 leg kicks attempted on him. So like opponents are literally landing 100% on leg kicks. And I don't know, just to like put it into context, Smolin went 3 for 3, Trezano 16 for 16, Peterson 10 for 10, Wyman 19 of 20, Frivola 11 of 11, Garcia 4 for 4. And I don't think Worthy looks like a killer striker or anything on tape, but I mean, he looked fast and shit against Smith, and he landed 16 or he landed 10 of 16 leg kicks against Smith in 4 minutes. So that does give you like some pause on the feet type of thing, because the leg kicks are obviously going to be there. And if it stays standing, he can probably take advantage of that on Pena. But I still don't think he's going to like wash Pena on the feet either.
Yeah, kind of my view. Like, I think Pena's pretty good, but kind of he's good enough everywhere. He has difficulties developing in process.
Yeah.
Like, some guys are like, because they're kind of a B+ everywhere, will just randomly pivot to wherever their opponent wants to be. While other ones will be like...
I do think he's a really good grappler. Like, once on the mat, I think he's a legitimately good grappler type of thing. It's just he can't always get it there, and he probably can't get it there against some really top wrestlers,
Yeah, I just feel like he just kind of seems very willing to just go wherever his opponent wants him to go.
Yeah.
Because he's good enough everywhere, he never really feels so uncomfortable that he has to get it into grappling, when despite the fact that should be where he takes it.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's shown urgency in a couple fights where he's attempted like 9 takedown attempts, and then there's been like multiple where he's attempted 1 to 3. And I feel like that's what this fight comes down to. And
yeah,
I do think there's parts. There's definitely, if they fight 100 times, there's fights where Pena goes nuts for takedowns and just fucks Worthy up, right? And then there's probably some competitive striking fights thrown in there too.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just, yeah, if you could trust Pena to stick to a process-laden game plan, sure, but I just can't.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like Pena's just got some Bobby Greene about him, I guess. Just how he sort of fights.
Yeah.
And even like Frivola, like he dominated Frivola in a lot of ways, and he still fucked that up.
Yeah. No, and I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying because you don't really know if he's going to take advantage of his optimal game plan. That because I mean, if I could trust him to grapple every time, he could honestly be like minus 400 here, but he might not do that. So the line becomes more competitive.
Yeah. Now what's his subline sticking out? Subline is out plus 220. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if it was like plus 500, I'd probably play it because I feel like if the subline's live, it means Pena's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be sitting on the subline at plus 500 than the money line at minus 250 because, like, if he's not in position to get the sub, he's probably doing something very dumb.
Yeah.
Like, my same view of Vittori Robertson is like, if Vittori wrestles, he'll justify his minus 250 price and he'll justify the subline. If he doesn't wrestle, he's not going to justify either of these prices.
Yeah.
I'd much rather lose a unit on sub at plus 600 than lose like 5 units on minus 250 because Vittoria decides he is getting into a swing match to the death.
Yeah. Greene Villante.
Don't have to play here.
What? I was expecting a max on Villante.
I don't know. I think Greene's a bit more functional. Like I was taking Villante more as a off-roll fade than anything.
Because you're not playing Villante here, Villante's going to knock him out.
Yeah, he'll look like a ranked heavyweight. I'm fully aware of this. Villante decision's a little bit tempting, but at the moment, I'm kind of whatever.
Yeah, I hate to say it, I just don't feel like talking about this fight. I can't add anything insightful to this fight.
Yeah, Greene's bigger. His striking looked okay against Albini. Villante might somehow kind of grind him, but yeah, Villante's probably a bit too wide a dog. But I don't know, I just don't feel it.
Yeah, pretty much Greene's bigger, has a reach advantage. Let's pass. Daukaus and Allen. This is actually interesting. Thoughts here?
I think Daukaus is a bit more functional as a grappler, despite being a little bit smaller. He throws more volume in standing, ground and pound, seems a bit more willing to hold top position. Allen's almost pure, like, solo submission before position. I think Allen's kind of high-rolled his last 2 fights. Like, Brace just looked, what the fuck is he doing, Brace?
Yeah.
Kevin Holden was beating him till Kevin Holden fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't like. I wouldn't like Daukaus in a lot of matchups because he has no striking defense, but I just don't see how it really comes up in this matchup. So, yeah.
Yeah, I need to tape a little more. Like I taped a bit, and it's tough just because Daukaus hasn't gone against that many good fighters, so it's kind of tough to know where he's at. He can get stuck on his back a little bit, so like I just think either guy can get top position here. But if you're playing Allen minus 310, I just don't like the fact that I favor Daukaus in the stand up. So that's not good when because Daukaus landed like a lot of strikes in his Contender Series fight. A lot of it was on the ground though. But I don't like that there's a position in the fight where I actually favor Daukaus. So, just playing Allen's a little scary. And I don't know, I just feel like Daukaus isn't a bad grappler. I don't, and he doesn't strike me as someone who's easy to kind of advance position on and sub. So I just feel like if Allen doesn't sub him, it's probably going to be back and forth,
Yeah, I trust Daukaus a little bit more as a minute winner, just busier. And I feel like when he's in top position, he's a bit more willing to throw ground and pound and not try and advance position, while Allen's always kind of hunting for the sub.
Yeah, I do think Allen's going to land takedowns early, though. I will say that. But I don't know, like Allen can end up on his back at times too. And I just feel like Allen's a little, just because he's kind of gotten some random finishes. I mean, he lost a grappling match to Eric Anders, you know? Um, it's just, he's kind of won via finishes lately. So just like by virtue of that, he's going to be a little overrated, you know? And I'm not saying he's like a bad fighter or anything. He's probably just a little overrated. He played two guys who are willing to kind of be on their back a lot. So, yeah.
And I just kind of trust Daukaus. I just trust Daukaus' cardio and volume more than I do Allen's. Like, I'd kind of price is a lot closer to evens. Like, it's possible one just runs away of the grappling, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, if Allen goes out there and just runs him over, I wouldn't be shocked at that, you know? But I also just, like you said, I wouldn't be shocked if Daukaus just kind of like beat him convincingly, or if this was really close either. It's just, I don't know. I don't have that good of a read. And so I just don't, because I don't have a good read. I mean, maybe someone else has a better read than me. I need to tape more though, but because I don't have a good read, I just don't see why Allen's minus 300, you know?
Yeah. And Daukaus, I think, has the cardio and toughness edge.
Yeah. It is tough though, just because like there can be a lot of variance with like regional guys, like debutants, you know, all of a sudden their grappling can look like shit when getting a step up.
Yeah, sure.
So like, I mean, that could happen, but I just felt like Daukaus, I don't know. I just feel like where he has holes is not where Allen takes advantage of, you know?
Yeah. Like, if this was Daukaus versus, like, Alessio Di Chirico or something, I'd be taking Di Chirico pretty comfortably, just because Daukaus has no striking defense.
Yeah.
But is Allen really going to take advantage of that? Like, Allen doesn't really have striking defense himself.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of UFC middleweights I take over Daukaus, but Allen's just going to do what he wants. Yeah, Allen's going to get into that stupid fight.
Yeah, I saw Daukaus was subbed kind of on the amateurs was 4.5 years ago though, you know, so it's hard to like know how much to read into that. But he did get like he can be put on his back a little bit, Daukaus, but so can Allen, you know. Like I just see win conditions for Daukaus, which isn't good if you're betting out at minus 300, you know. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Daukaus won this fight. But
Yeah, pretty much. I think the grappling is going to be neither's really going to run away. One could run away with the grappling, but generally, if it's a competitive fight, like they're both kind of shit with top position, the subs are going to be live in both directions. And just, yeah, I'm not convinced by Allen.
Yeah. What? Allen, who? Yeah, because I also watched his fight with like Anthony Hernandez. Like he lost a grappling fight 2 years ago to Anthony Hernandez. You know.
Yeah, Hernandez shut him down pretty convincingly in the grappling too. It wasn't like it was just like a close.
And even 3 years ago to Anders, like Anders out grappled him. And I mean, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I just. It's funny because like some dude who I respect, who's good, and I know he's profitable, is playing Allen like in a parlay. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing something. Maybe I'm missing something. But like pivoting on the next fight, if you want to play a parlay, I just feel like you can get Perry at the same price as Allen. You know, like I feel like Perry's much more of a safe play, you know, than Allen. Dude, I think Perry's going to run over Gall. What do you think?
Should do. There's the whole girlfriend corner thing, and just Perry being Perry are always concerns. Like Gall could just roundly get it back somehow, but yeah, Perry should kill him.
Yeah, I think he's going to murder him. I feel like Gall sub would kind of have to come early, but I don't know. I feel like Allen. I feel like Perry. He's kind of underrated as a grappler, I think. Like he kind of just got subbed one time against Cerrone, and Cerrone's a much better submission grappler than Gall. Yeah, and I just feel like Perry's going to maul him. And even if Perry gets on top or something, I feel like he could really land some heavy shots here. So
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, like Perry's great wrestling's not bad. Like he stuffs Cerrone's stuff. He's out grappled some decent grapplers. Like even Felder kind of like manhandled him.
yeah,
Gall's not very good at MMA. And Perry should just destroy him at some point.
yeah, agreed. What's his inside the distance? Oh Jesus, minus 215. Honestly, at that point, like I think his money line holds more value just because like if Gall just somehow survives, it's like not that insane of I mean a little bit of a difference, obviously, like 9 percentage points, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just gonna kind of maul Gall. But Poirier Hooker, I think the line might be a little too wide. I do favor Poirier, but 5-round striking fights at minus 230 where there's not an insane output edge, I just feel like that's too wide.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, we'll stay on the feet for the most part. Poirier probably should be favoured, but minus 250 is a bit wide for the striking match.
Yeah, especially in a 5-rounder,
Yeah. Okay, they're both very tough. They're both pretty fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was thinking the over at one point, but then even then I'm kind of eased off it. Like, I think it really depends on the tempo. Like, if Poirier, it really depends what tempo Poirier sets. If Poirier feels like going nuts, it's gonna go under. If Poirier doesn't feel like going nuts, it's gonna go distance.
Yeah, Poirier tends to just pressure hard and kind of go nuts, so it probably will. But yeah, like I favor Poirier to win. It's just I don't know, mid minus 200s in a 5-round striking fight where I don't think it's a mismatch. It's kind of it's just wide. But I don't know. That's it. Like, there's only 10 fights on this card.
Yeah, like I could see Hooker. I could see Hooker Poirier just being a rerun of Felder, where it's a somewhat controversial split decision kind of deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hooker's tough. He rarely gets landed on like massively. Yeah, it was the exception of the Boser fight.
Yeah, that I feel like that's kicks though, Like a lot of those were just kind of kicks, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I think it'll be a good fight. I just don't really have a betting lane. Like, yeah, gun to my head, probably play over Hooker in the over, but yeah.
Yeah. I tend to think Poirier's going to win, but I don't blame anyone for taking a 2-1 shot on Hooker at all because I just feel like this fight's high variance by the nature of being a 5-round striking fight. But yeah, I think that's every fight on this card, and then we got in 2 weeks we have Usman and Burns. We'll get that podcast out a little earlier just because it's a pay-per-view and we have a break in between too. There's some good fights. Yeah. That's an awesome card too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep. But yeah, that's everything I got. Yeah. I'm gonna roll though. I'm pretty tired and I need to take my dog out. But good luck with your bets and good luck to everyone listening too.
Actually, just quickly, what's your biggest bet of the evening?
I honestly don't have a bet yet. I'm still kind of like thinking about it. Like I'll tweet it out or something. I just feel like I don't know. I just don't like a lot of spots. What about you?
Probably Sato at like minus 140, like 2 units or so. There's nothing I'm married to at the moment, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think Bramihaj is bad in a lot of ways, and like he might have improved outside, but
yeah, I feel like the last like few cards I've just had less action than usual. I am playing Usman for 251. I just think he should be. We're getting a discount on him for no reason, in my opinion. But and then I'm like interested in a few more fights on that card. But like I don't know, this card's kind of meme. I feel.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah,
but I'm still like finishing up some tape on like the few fights that I'm interested in. So it's I'm still kind of looking. I feel like Barella would have been live at plus 250.
Yeah, agreed. Like, particularly with a women's MMA debutant against like a fairly established talents, like, Maverick looks okay. I did tape on her, and she looked okay, but there wasn't anything like. Nothing about Maverick's game made me say this is a future like ranked fighter.
Yeah. No, for sure. But okay,
Yeah.
I'll see you, and then we'll do the podcast
Yeah.
for the next card next week.
Thanks for listening.
Cool. Peace.